Hey babes, my name's Hannah.
And my name's Chasity.
Welcome back to Bookish Babes. Today we're going to be telling you guys all about all the books that we read in September.
So I have kind of a longer list this month. I was on a spree. So I'm gonna
crazy.
I read 10 books this month, you guys. So I'm gonna group some of them together so that I'm not talking just forever. So the first ones that I read were You Were Mine and When I'm Gone by Abby Glines. Sorry, I'm gonna check my Goodreads because I cannot remember everything that I read.
We got our phones down here, so.
You Were Mine was the story of Bessie and Trip, and I was really excited for Trip's story, and this one fell flat. Just totally flat for me. I felt like there was so much potential because there had been this build-up of Bessie and, you know, the fact that they had been together before, like you kind of
she was grieving, yeah.
And she was grieving, and I just felt like this could have had so much potential, but yet it didn't. It kind of turned into the same predictable thing. And I felt like some of the scenes weren't necessary. Just weren't necessary. I was really disappointed. And I hate to say that because I really do love Abby's style of writing and the characters she creates, but this one really, it just got a 3 stars for me. The next one, When I'm Gone, was Mace's story, and for the life of me cannot remember the girl's name.
Must not have been memorable.
So here's the thing. I liked the plot of this story. I thought the female character was extremely interesting, and the backstory that she came from was extremely interesting, and some things that like aren't necessarily talked about all the time. Not the same typical thing you read. So I really liked that. I liked Mace as a character, especially in the other books, and then I was excited to find out that this one was. I kind of almost wish it took place on the ranch, though, that it was more involved with the ranch.
But it had to take place in Rosemary Beach.
It had to take, because it's the Rosemary Beach series, which I get, like, I get why, but I really liked Mace's mom as well. Yeah. Mace, like I said, is a very interesting character, and he had such a personality. My biggest problem was that personality dropped off by the end of the book. Like, he was like she said he was like every other guy in all of Abby Glines' books, which is why I stopped. I stopped at the book before Trips. Yeah, before Trips, and I don't know that I'll be picking them back up. I think I will finish them because
you're so far.
I'm just so far. I need to know what happens. Also, I think I need to take a little bit of a break from romance. Like this month, I'm not reading so much romance because I'm like, okay, maybe I'm just not
spooky mom.
Yeah, it's spooky mom. And maybe I'm just kind of being biased a little bit because I've overdone it.
Yeah. So the first book that I finished in September was Elastic Hearts by Claire Contreras. I'm not going to go too much into this one because it is the 3rd book in the trilogy that I talked about in my wrap-up last month. This one followed Victor and can't remember her name. Nicole Alessi. This one took me longer to get into than the other two, but by the end I loved it just as much as the other ones. So really recommend this trilogy, like I said last month, and I think I rated it 4 out of 5 stars. And I'm just gonna move on from that one because I gave you guys the lowdown on this whole trilogy last month.
So I read a set of novellas next. It's called The Summer of Secrets, which I've been raving about, and I told her she has to read it. This contains Ruin Me by Christina Hart, Hate Me by Cynthia A. Rodriguez, and Teach Me by J.R. Rogue. I loved these. Like, I finished them really quick. I love each one of these authors' individual books, so I love the way that they write, and it's very, so it was like the story of like 3 sisters.
And so they were kind of companion novels?
Yes, so they were all, they all happened at the same time. They were consecutively happening, like, throughout the summer. I have to say that, Ruin Me or Hate Me was probably my favorite. It's really hard for me to choose, but they were really quick romances with good backstories and interesting characters that have that dynamic level. That's really all I can say about them, is that they were phenomenal.
Would you rate them?
Oh, 5. 5 out of 5.
All 3 of them?
All 5. All 3.
Okay. So the next book I read this month was a super exciting release for me. You guys know we are huge Tracy Finlay fans. We raved about The Rules of Birkin. Now, she hasn't read this one yet because of some various reasons, it was a little bit rough for her to get through, but I finished it in like a day and a half, and I loved it. Gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. This follows a mother and a son duo so the son's childhood friend just killed himself, and the mourning mother comes to Malik's mother and says, can you please help me figure out why my son did this? And so they find themselves delving into secrets and details that they never thought were possible, and it kept me guessing till the very end. I didn't know who was causing, I don't want to give too many details because you haven't read it, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't read it, but basically there's let me see what she has said about it. So yeah, it's okay. So there's this website for their high school, and they find out that there is somebody targeting children and bullying them and telling them that they have to kill themselves and playing this game with them. And so this is all about them trying to figure out who this person is behind these horrendous acts. So like I said, 5 out of 5 stars, would really recommend.
I am the whole reason, because I bought that the day it came out, and I started it the day it came out. It's some personal triggers for me that have kind of, I had to step away from it, but I do plan on finishing it because I just love her work. So I kind of feel bad that I have not finished it yet. Okay, the next one I read was A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. And I was really holding off on this one because, as a whole lot of people know, Farrah and Reeson are like my favorite couple ever. And I wanted more. I wanted to be able to have more. So I left this book unread for the longest time, obviously, because I bought it like the day it came out. So, with that being said, I've seen a lot of reviews and a lot of people say that this book was unnecessary. It totally was. But that did not stop me from loving every freaking moment of it, okay? Was it totally necessary for us to see how they were picking up the pieces? Not at all. Not at all. I don't care. Y'all can hate on it all you want. I loved having just a little bit more of those two, okay?
Passionate about this.
This one, I gave it a 5 out of 5 because you know what? Fuck it. I needed more. Okay?
Alrighty. The next book I read was Another by Fiona Cole. This one is about two people who have seen each other randomly 3 times. Once it was, I want to say it was, like they met in a bar right after she got broken up with, or right after she left somebody, and then the next time they have like some killer sex, and then the next time they see each other is when she's like super pregnant with his baby.
Wait, what?
Yeah, because she doesn't know his name and whatever, and it turns out they're like, you know, they work for like competing firms.
Of course
whatever.
they do.
Of course. This one was good. It was okay in the beginning, and then it just really fell flat for me. I think I gave it like a 2.5. It wasn't bad, but I don't know that I necessarily recommend it. It was kind of just like everything that I thought would happen happened, but in a stupider way. So
I think that's why I just need a little break from romance.
Yeah,
I'm starting to feel like that.
I read
like,
so many that I just can just guess it.
Yeah, it's too predictable for me.
Yeah,
that's why I need something just a little bit more. Okay, so the next one I read, I was lucky enough to get an advanced reader copy of the new Cat Savage poetry collection called Counting Backwards from Gone. This one was really raw and gripping, very emotional. If you guys get a chance to pick it up, definitely do take a look at the backstory and the reason why she read it. Kat's sister was murdered by her boyfriend several years ago, and he just finally got convicted with her murder. So this was really kind of just all Kat's feelings, and it was very raw, and I just loved it. It was very, very good. Wow. Very powerful.
The next book that I read on a completely different note was Room Hate by Penelope Ward. Now, this I liked way more than I thought I would. I thought this was totally going to be like one of those trashy romance novels. I picked it up when it was like raining outside, and I thought I was going to kill it all in one sitting, which I pretty much did. But it had so much more to it than I thought it did. This basically follows two kids, or they're adults now, but they were kids and they kind of grew up together and they fell in love, and the girl just kind of, once again, I can't remember their names. I'm not even going to try. You guys should just accept that from me by now. the girl like just pieces out and leaves, and then comes back. Her grandma dies, and leaves the house to her and the guy, because they were all so close when they were younger, and so they both come back to this house, and it's like tensions are rising, y'all. He's very upset with her, and then she doesn't quite understand why he's so upset with her, because she feels like he did something too. And I don't want to give away any details, like I always say, but yeah, it was very tense, it was very angsty, and I actually liked it way more than I thought I would. I think I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And this is my first book by Penelope Ward, but I've been recommended her stuff a lot.
Yeah,
so
me too.
I
need
to pick it up.
Pick up some of hers.
You should try that one. It was good.
Okay. The next one I read was Clockwork Angel by Cassandra Clare. Sorry, there was like... So, this one I have tried to read previously and did not get through it. But I read it very close after I finished The Mortal Instruments, and everyone knows I'm a real big fan of The Mortal Instruments. It's like one of my favorite series. Clockwork Angel was harder for me to get into. I felt originally like I was just repeating the same story, but like in London in the 1800s. So I was like, all right, peace out.
This is the same thing.
Not doing this. So I gave it a second chance because several booktubers have done the same thing and raved about this book. I'm not raving. I gave it, I gave it a 3-star. I really love Jem. I think Will was supposed to have like the same kind of thing with Jace, where he was like mean at first, but you fall in love with him. And honestly,
I've read like
it
the
didn't
first
work.
4 books in that series, so I kind of know what she's talking about.
Honestly, it just didn't work. I'm not a fan of Will. I'm not a fan of Tessa, who's the main character. I thought the Dark Sisters were much more interesting, and they're bad guys. So, the Dark Sisters, and I thought the idea of the Magister and all the like actual clockwork people was kind of cool, but other than that, I really just, Jem is the only other reason I would continue reading the series.
That's fair.
That's about it.
So the last book I read this month was one by my favorite author. And I have been saving this for many reasons. One, because this was my last book by her that I had to read. I've already read The Wives. Oh, it's Tarryn Fisher. I guess I didn't mention that. I read Atheists Who Kneel and Pray by Tarryn Fisher. I thought it was going to be my least favorite. A, that's why I waited so long. And B, because it gives me anxiety to now be without a Tarryn book. I still have Marrow. So I'm not without a Tarryn book.
I'm slowly reading Fuck Marriage, and then
totally forgot about that. But I already read The Wives, which is what she has coming out in December. So then what am I going to do?
I don't know.
I need to slow down. I need to, not read Marrow for a while.
Just like you said. Go
but I kind of want to read
slow.
Marrow this month because it's spooky.
It's spooky. You have to.
Oh my god. And then I'm going to have a real panic attack. But
I'm going to finish Fuck Marriage, and then we're both going to badger her until she releases something else.
Yes. But like I said, I thought Atheists Who Kneel and Pray was going to be my least favorite for whatever reason. And it was quite the opposite. I loved it so much more than I thought I would. Now, you guys know that The Opportunist is like my favorite book of all time. And I don't know that it quite bumps out The Opportunist, but I think it's pretty close. Like, I loved this book. I loved Yara, and I love that Tarryn can write characters like Yara who women like me can relate to. David's a musician, Yara is his muse, and she likes to run off, and I will leave the details up to you because you can only guess what happens.
Yeah, for real.
It's good. Please read it. 5 out of 5 stars.
Okay, well, that's all we have for you today. I hope you enjoyed watching.
Please let us know down below if you've read any of these books and what you thought about them.
Yep, and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe and turn on that bell so you know when we upload. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.